Hey guys, welcome back. If you haven't seen part 1 of this video, I will link it below, but YouTube was having some issues and would not let me download the entire thing, so this is part 2. We will pick up where I left off. Good stuff. Over here we've got some home canned black beans and kidney beans. Now I have quite a bit of dried beans that I want to go ahead and process over the next couple of months, probably during the winter since I don't have any garden stuff to keep me busy. I'm going to go ahead and start processing those in the Instant Pot and then canning them up, which makes soups and stews and things in the winter so much more convenient. Down here, back there in the left in the dark, I've got a big bowl that I keep onions in. And then I have 2 big bags of basmati rice. There's one behind this one right here. That's our favorite rice, even though it's a bit pricey, so we do have quite a few 25-pound bags of regular long grain rice, but when they have it in stock, we really like basmati the best. I've got some Cheez-Its and Ritz crackers. Of course, they're the generic brand from Aldi, but those are handy for snacks for my kids' lunches. Here are some of our dried beans that won't fit in our bins below on the floor. These are a whole lot of pinto beans and a little bit of black beans. And again, I plan on cooking those in the next month or two and pressure canning them for the pantry. This top shelf is one of those areas in the pantry that still needs some work. I have a hard time reaching that top shelf. So our big lobster pot that I use for water bath canning sits up there. And then there's some canning supplies next to it and some ribbon for hair bows next to that. Some of those things need to be moved up to the attic as soon as I can get one of my tall family members to help me out. Now, back here in this corner, next to the applesauce, I have, you can't see it, but I've got a couple of large cans of Crisco. Now, normally I would get the store brand of something like shortening because it's not likely I'm going to use it. However, what I found was the actual Crisco brand expires about a year later than most store brand shortenings. So I went ahead and got the regular Crisco brand, and that would be used in our homemade bread products, tortillas, sandwich bread, biscuits, in case I've run out of butter or other oils. It can be melted down and used just the same. And then I have lots of bouillon cubes and broth base. Those are just handy if you run out of home canned broth. I have a full case of tomato paste. I think there's about 24 cans in there, and those have a lot of uses as well. And then up here I just have kind of some condiment and side things that I don't use very often. The non-fat dry milk would kind of be in an emergency situation, or really if we run out of cream. I buy about 12 quarts of cream a month. I know that sounds crazy, but they don't take up a lot of space compared to gallons of milk. We aren't really a milk drinking family. We just don't. We don't buy cereal. And so, that's just one thing that we don't typically purchase, but we do like to put cream in our coffee. And it's great to dilute and use in place of milk in recipes. So if I were to run out of cream on any given month, or if I'm not able to find it one month, then we've got this non-fat dry milk to use in its place. And we could use the coconut milk as well. Down here we have popcorn, some Trim Healthy Mama products like collagen. There's some einkorn grains. I haven't ground those up yet, but there's a Trim Healthy Mama naan recipe that calls for einkorn. So I placed that in my Azure standard order a couple of months ago. Now we have quite a bit of pancake syrup because if I'm going to have all those buttermilk pancake mix bags, then we're going to need pancake syrup to put on it. And as I've said before, our family is too big to be buying real maple syrup. I wish we could do it, but it's just not cost effective. So we're really okay with pancake syrup, which is straight up maple flavored corn syrup. We also use honey and peanut butter occasionally. Back here I have 10-pound bags of sugar. I probably have 70 to 80 pounds back there, and I keep them in the grocery bags because it keeps from making a mess or attracting ants. I would say we go through less than one a month, so that's quite a bit that we've got on hand. Here we have our marinara stash. I love to keep lots of marinara sauce. We use it for meatball subs, pizzas, spaghetti sauce. Of course, I've got home canned tomatoes, but it's still nice. We did not grow enough last year to provide anywhere close to a year's worth of tomato products. So I have continued to buy a case every month. We don't go through that much, so it always leaves some extra in the pantry. And then I got a few of these 3 packs of Alfredo sauce at Sam's last month. It was just kind of another one of those decisions like, you know what, I'm pretty much always going to be able to make homemade pasta with the flour and wheat that we have and the eggs from our chickens, so we might as well have a few options to put on our pasta. Of course, our stash of grits, popcorn, microwave popcorn. We have an air popper and we have regular popcorn grains, but my kids love that Naturals Orville Redenbacher's. All right, I typically, when you do your monthly grocery shopping, you've got the things that you know to get every month. And 10 packages of tortillas is it for us. Of course, I also make our tortillas if we ever run out. But while they're still on the shelf for about 99 cents a piece at Aldi, those ones on top are from Walmart, but most of those in that case are from Aldi for about 98 cents a package. I'm going to go ahead and buy them because time is money. And if I don't have to make it right now, I'd rather not. I have a few packages of this real crumbled bacon. They are less than $10 a bag. It's a 20-ounce bag, and they're good for like 2 years if you haven't opened them yet. So that's just really nice to have handy to add to soups or breakfast casseroles. This is kind of our meat shelf. I discovered pulled pork in a can. I've never heard of that before, but they had it at Costco, and I've definitely had food storage on the brain lately, so I picked up a few of those when I was at Costco last month. There's some chili meat without beans, quite a bit of canned tuna, and a little bit of canned chicken. Graham crackers. My 5-year-old likes graham crackers with peanut butter as a snack in his backpack. And then there's our beloved Cholula back there. All right, this is another area that needs a little attention with the organization. I've got that huge glass jar back there that needs to come out, and I've got a really old vintage Bosch mixer. A brand new Bosch mixer will run you from $600 to $700. And I can't remember if I've said this in my previous video, but I found this one on eBay for $120 about 10 years ago. It still runs like a champ. I need to see if I can sell it on Facebook Marketplace because I don't have a use for it anymore, and it's just collecting dust and someone else can surely use it. I've got a big box of oolong tea. This basket has some of our winter squash that I grew in the garden this year, along with a whole bunch of granola bars that the kids take in their lunches. There is a little police car, and then some other things that don't belong in the pantry. There's an extra Instant Pot insert, another large jar. The vinegar's fine. And then there's the rice Chex that I got a couple months ago to make homemade Chex Mix and still haven't done. As I said in a previous video, I placed an order for these new 5-gallon buckets with the Gamma Seal lids when I placed my last Azure Standard order back in September, I believe. They are now filled with wheat. There's some more soft white wheat on the ground. I don't use that nearly as often as the hard white, which is right there to the left in that white bucket. Now, all of these bins down below are full of flour, rice, and beans. I added a sticky note with some packing tape to the top of each one. This one is all-purpose flour. And then we just kind of keep them rotating that way. As we use one, when this one runs out of bread flour, I will take it out, move it back over there, and we'll rotate everything this way. Well, we'll pick the next bread flour. And then there's rice and beans in some of them as well, but they're all labeled for ease of use. In these high upper cabinets in the kitchen, I like to keep our extra spices and condiments, such as jams and jellies, coconut oil, minced garlic, and the spices that you see here. Most of these go 2 or 3 deep, which will last us a good year in most cases. But these are the spices on this shelf that they were completely out of, except for the garlic, at Sam's yesterday. The items on these two bottom shelves are used on a daily basis. This is where our regularly used spices will go. And when they start to get low, I can pull from the top shelves and then add that to my shopping list for the next month. This is also where I keep all of our extracts and flavorings, nonstick cooking spray, as well as vegetable oil. We keep close to a year's worth of honey on hand because we use so much of it to make our homemade whole wheat bread. We also have about a year's worth of gallon-sized tea bags to make sweet tea. The lemon juice is for making homemade lemonade in the summer. It's also used at baking sometimes during the holidays. And then we have our baking condiments and things such as cocoa powder, baking powder, cornstarch, and brown sugar and powdered sugar, which we typically only use around the holidays. We also keep some shelf-stable Parmesan cheese and raisins. These are definitely the most used shelves in our entire kitchen. They contain the things that we use on a daily basis, everywhere from snacking raisins to honey for sandwiches, salt, our oatmeal that we use when we're making breakfast in the morning, whatever box of tea is open at the moment, along with sugar, bread flour, salt and pepper, and even some first aid stuff. I really hope this updated pantry tour has been helpful in light of shortages that we're seeing across the nation. Let me know in the comments how things are looking in your area. Are you seeing shortages? Are they not really affecting you? I would encourage you more than anything to work on shortening your supply chain. If your family eats a lot of processed foods, it's probably time to, number one, either stock up on those processed foods so you have 3 to 6 months worth in your home in case they become the next shortage item, or branch out and start using recipes that call for less processed items, but also get to know your local growers, get to know your farmers, your meat producers, call your local farmers market. They can put you in touch with people that can provide eggs, milk, chicken, beef, in-season vegetables. It's always great to support our local farmers, our local homesteaders who sell vegetables. You can probably even get in touch with people that can sell you pigs or chickens if you're looking to start growing your own meat soon. But more than anything, just start looking for local sources. Those are the people who are going to need our support, and they're not going to experience shortages. Not like our grocery stores who are dependent upon ships and trucks. So start looking close to home and see how you can shorten your supply chain so that your family will be less impacted by the shortages that are predicted to get worse over time. Thanks for watching, guys.